Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 50 of the Hall of Gamers podcast. This week, I'm joined by the lovely Charlotte.
Hello.
The apparently producer in training, Cameron.
I'll get it one day. It's fine.
Yeah, one of these days.
We all have to be in training at some point, right?
Exactly. And our good friend Brad.
How's it going?
Good, thank you for joining us.
Always happy to.
You know what? I'm so glad we could get Brad on. Because some weeks it's absolutely like pulling teeth. And then other weeks it's like, hey, can I just come on the podcast this week?
I'm still not convinced that Brad is real.
I mean, it's look, if Brad wants to be a cryptid, Brad can be a cryptid, okay? That's his business. This week we're going to be talking a lot of news. Quite a bit has happened. There's some THQ Nordic stuff. There's some sort of quote-unquote surprise announcements. Embracer is basically taking over the world again. And there's some Death Stranding stuff as well. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. But as always, the show is live on Twitch. Hall of Gamers Pod is the place to find us. You can come hang out. We've got Bulbasaur in the chat. We're all in the chat, shit posting and saying hi and asking questions and stuff.
David just followed us. Thank you, David.
Oh, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
David.
Best non-Cameron dad jokes there is.
Oh, jeez. Oh, come on.
You made it, David. You found the podcast. Just follow me
It only
everywhere.
took you like, what, a year? Oh, yeah, and lots of delays too.
No.
Lots of delays.
Yeah, lots of
Lots of
delays. We've got a
delayed
lot
chat.
to talk about.
I
with
wrote a
delays.
whole list.
But first, without any further ado, let's transition to the song of the week. Take it away, Cameron. Now is the time, plans to organize. The estimates are on my mind. The games just take up all my time. Game Pass goodbyes as I play again. Never stops being a drain. Gotta do it fast. These games have taken their toll on me. I've valaked them so many times before. And my time is running away from me, 'cause I've got no choice, 'cause I can't put it off anymore.
Had to.
Yeah.
Alright,
Well,
so
figured
I know
that would
the
just
song
make
of
it
the
12.
week.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
good.
This one was an easy one.
Yeah.
All right, well, Cameron, what is it?
It is. Oh my god. It's Maroon 5, and why am I blanking on the song name right
What's
now?
the song, Cameron?
It's the chorus. Come on.
Cameron. Cameron.
Too many times.
Yeah. Okay. What's the one line before that is the name
It's
of the
literally
song?
2 words. 2 words.
God damn, why am I blanking so
Both
hard?
4 letters.
Oh my god.
This love.
Both-
This
Brett-
love.
Yes, that's love.
It
Yes,
took me
thank
it
you.
took me a second.
Jeez.
I cycled
You got
back to
there
it.
in the end.
I got 2 stuck
We
in
got
the
him there.
chorus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about the
You
music.
mean
It's
the
not about
chorus
the
that
song title.
starts with this love?
This love. Yeah. Exactly. I happened to mention that it was Friday and that I was writing song of the week at the end of the day at my end of work meeting, and they're like, "Oh, let's do a live rehearsal," and I'm like, "I'm definitely not stage ready for this. This is, no way."
This is almost like being told right before a podcast that you're going to be doing the introduction.
Yeah, exactly right.
Wow,
Who the fuck would do that?
Who would do that to me?
All right, well, let's get into our community questions. We've got 2 of them, both from my wonderful friend Isaac. The first one is, what was the most boring, time-consuming achievement you went for? Did you ever get it? For example, Borderlands DLC Mad Moxie was notorious for this back on the 360. The whole thing took hours to get, and it was just the same thing over and over again. It wasn't hard, just repetitive and long, and just super tedious. Your thoughts, Charlotte?
Well, there's heaps that I'm like putting off working on, like the Saints Row one with all of the challenges. Yeah, like it's just going to take me a while because I'm slow at doing all of the challenges.
Yeah,
So
right.
we'll see how I go.
It's also kind of just busy work at that point because you've done everything else in the game.
Yeah. There's probably others, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. No, I know which ones. The Tourist.
Oh yeah,
And the fucking arcade games.
well, that wasn't tedious. That was you just had a lot of
For
trouble with it.
everybody else, it was not tedious. We're talking about own individual tediousness.
Okay, sure, but I'm fine. That's fine.
It took me hours to do. The
It
car
was
racing
time
one.
consuming. Yeah.
Look. I guess skill needs
Second.
to play part of this.
Sure.
Question
Yeah, I can
here.
understand. Yeah, sure. Right. I mean,
But
well, some
everybody's skills are different. Is where I was
Well,
leading with that.
Considering I have only really been legitimately playing on Xbox and gaming solidly since start of May last year.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
but it comes down to those things too. Like, for example, racing.
Yeah.
I do really well at racing.
I was
You
trash.
suck at it.
That racing game was fucking hard. That was the hardest one for me.
Which one?
That racing game I was fine
Tourist.
at.
In
Yeah, in
Tourist.
Tourist, that was fine.
See, I took me like that was the one that took me the longest. Again, like I'm not saying like a super angry throwing controller level, but like it was definitely like the block breaking one I got my first try, and the platforming one took me like a couple of tries.
Boyfriend Dungeon. Watching Charlotte stream is what I remember.
Yes, but that racing was a different type. That was a different style of racing.
I mean, any type of racing.
I
though.
got it. Did I not get it? Did I not
You
get that
did
achievement?
get it. And I know that what Dio said that he only took him like 30 minutes, which is real rude of him.
Yeah, but he was really mean about how he said it to me.
He
I'm
was.
just-
Yeah.
Because he sent me a text and was like, "Don't be mad at me. I've done something." And I went, "What the fuck have you done?" And then he's like, "I bet that achievement that you struggled on for 6 hours and 30 minutes."
It's like Kirby of RNG, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he has to gloat about it as soon as he pulls off like a natural 20.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad this came up for conversation because I haven't actually mentioned it to Charlotte, but I literally did all three of those races first try.
I hate you.
I was very lucky, and I was like, because I got the first
What
two, and I
game's
was like
this?
the Boyfriend
Boyfriend
Dungeon.
Dungeon.
I haven't played it yet. I'll keep
really
you updated when I get to it.
Yeah, it's a really shitty mini game where you gotta. It's like it plays like RC Pro Am, so you have to like rotate the car and you hold down the A button to move forward.
And I'm already
Those games they suck.
vertically challenged.
Those games are awful. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that stuff, but I was lucky enough to get it first try.
Yeah. We have a couple in chat as well. So David said beating Bullet Witch on the hardest difficulty for one gamer score.
Yeah.
Bulbasaur said getting 100% in Lego Batman, and Jump Force achievement for getting all the achievements. That was tedious.
Actually, yeah, the Lego games like actually are pretty like the first thing that kind of comes to mind for
There's
this
just
kind of
so
question.
much to do for them.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're the perfect example of games that aren't like spread out evenly in terms of their achievement list.
And they're also like not difficult.
Some of them are very back heavy.
It's just
Yeah.
going to take
Yeah.
forever to do.
Like doing the Star Wars The Complete Saga, because you have to play through that campaign 4 times
Yeah.
for no real reason.
I mean, that goes back to a lot of 360 games in itself as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, David mentions the original Seriously, and they're like actually all of the Seriously achievements. Those I've done those.
Yeah, but
times.
seriously is a gimmick, though. At the
Yeah.
same time,
Yeah,
It's
true.
better to be tedious.
It is now. Yeah.
all your race belong to us 2.0.
Yeah.
You could even go as far as saying, and this doesn't really apply to anybody on this podcast other than maybe Brad, but Riot Legend and Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
But I think that's not.
It's tedious, but it's
tedious,
fun
but
tedium.
it's not time. Like, it's time consuming, but it's not boring.
Yeah.
Most people, yeah.
For the most part.
Like, all your race 2.0 to me, like, I'm kind of like in two minds whether it's boring or not, because it's, at the same time, racing games to me is like podcast territory.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
That-
like, I'm still learning,
That's
get
kind of
to
where I'm
something.
at too, right? Is that like I usually I have something on in the background for those kinds of games. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm remembering Neverwinter. Again, is a relatively tedious and repetitive. I mean, it's a free MMO, like it's to be expected, right? But there is one of the achievements for like doing the fishing mini game, and you have to get like 200 fish or something ridiculous. It's a lot of fish. And to even get the fish, you need to get glowworms, which you have to grind to like as a drop. You
Yeah.
have to get. It's just like
I know a tedious game.
mm,
One that's leaving Game Pass
which one?
that has ridiculous RNG that you have to wait for, and people have been already complaining in our Discord.
I mean,
Hades.
Well, yeah.
Like-
I mean,
I love that game. It's still one of my favorite games. But
there is definitely
some of
a
those
level tedium.
achievements.
it should have ended at 10 runs. I think 10
Basically.
runs like still would have been a 30-hour game, still would have been relatively...
Yeah, the biggest problem with that game is needing to do the epilogue and then grinding out all the charms to level 3.
Yeah, and that's that tedious element. So like getting those achievements at the tail end of the game, that's that's the part that
It's a
sort of
shame,
kills it for
'cause
most people.
Game is really good.
Hades is so weird in that regard though, because like it's one of the only roguelites that I can think of that has a story that naturally progresses.
Mm-hmm.
And actually makes sense with the actual concept. Yeah, well, like I've like dying and repeating.
Like as soon as you do those 10 runs, that's when it makes like
no
sense to do.
Yeah.
But David also said Dead Rising killing 10,000 zombies. I remember the Dead Rising free achievement, like going around on that roller.
Yep.
That roller one in the top left-hand district. And all I did back, I think this was like 2014, 2015, I sat in front of my heater and just did that for hours on end while I watched MasterChef reruns.
Fair.
And I've got it like burned into my mind.
Bro, you've played a lot of fucking tedious bullshit.
Not for a long time. I
Not
got
for a long
out
time,
of it
yeah,
because
true.
I was tired of it. Yeah.
But like,
what is Gems of War?
I'm going to try. Think of what broke you from that.
I don't know. I think doing like not wanting to go through the bullcrap of doing all the grinding the multiplayer stuff and doing boosting sessions, because every time you do one, some genius has to leave in the last 5 minutes before it starts, and I just got sick of it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That sort of stuff just pissed me off.
I've gotten really tired of multiplayer games for the most part. Like,
like I'll still play stuff if it's got multiplayer stuff in it, but I don't even care if I do it anymore.
Yeah. And then his other question he wrote in was, I was having a good run on Slay the Spire today. Had a nice deck, but was on low on health. That was fine, but I was being careful. Went to hit the X button to use a potion and actually accidentally pushed Y instead to skip my turn, and then the enemy killed me instantly. I was so mad. What games like this have you made a simple error on, and what did you do? Thanks for taking my questions.
Every single game.
So I responded in the Discord with this one because I'm actually working with a game at the moment that's deck building and tactics. And after the first playtest of it, like doing 2 or 3 hours, I said, why isn't there no restart turn button? Because the amount, like dealing with a tactics-based grid, like it's so and knowing that it could potentially come out on phones or that down the line, it's like, why would you not have a restart turn button? Like Slay the Spire, I believe, had iOS and Android.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, touchscreen control. Sure, yeah.
It should definitely have a restart turn button.
Yeah,
but then the other thing with that too is I know of community members that have been playtesting that have constantly abused restart turn to filter stuff out.
But it's that's basically an accessibility option at that point, right? Like that's that's leaning on the game a little bit to be like, hey, like you don't have to be bullshit all the time. Which that's up to the devs. But
I don't know. It's not really the game's fault. It's user error.
Sure, but like to be fair, most games where you fuck up is user error. That's how games work. Because if it wasn't if the game is causing the problem, then that's bullshit. That's fucking RNG bullshit. There's not much you can do about that, unfortunately.
I mean, everyone does it playing like XCOM or something. You move a guy one square too far, so you're not in cover anymore, and then you get blasted.
Yeah.
That's just life.
And then he panics and shoots all of his teammates. Love when that happens. I need to go back and finish Enemy Unknown. I've got like 2 achievements left, and it's
I keep forgetting which places I started and finished the game with.
Exactly the same problem.
I've probably finished with Europe like 4 times now.
Yeah, I've got one that I definitely know, and there's like another couple that I'm like, I don't know. I can't remember which one I picked.
This brings up too games with shit UI, like restart match or continue kind of stuff, and it highlights the wrong thing that you think, and you accidentally quit out rather than continuing a run.
Yeah, I've heard that before. That's so annoying.
It's really bad for me with colors because it's like instead of like putting a bar above something, they just like highlight the text, and like sometimes I can't tell the difference, which is can be quite challenging.
Is that user error then, or is that the game's fault?
Well, you're right. It's a good question.
There was a game once where I completely deleted my save file, like I overwrote it. Because I went to go and load it, but instead I'd gone into save instead. Like it was like one press difference, and I was like, no, I was sure I pressed the right one. I went down to load and I didn't. It flicked back and went to save.
Oh no.
That's reminding me of the person in AHA that said that they delete their cloud saves after they're done. And it's
would
like,
you?
why
God.
would you do that?
It's literally free storage.
It's a cloud.
Just leave it.
Yeah.
Like, just uninstall the game and leave your saves. There's no point in deleting any of that stuff.
David says he had a friend who was doing Bladder of Steel achievement of Rock Band and fucked it up 5 hours in. That sucks a lot. For the,
Yeah.
for those who don't know,
long achievements. That's stuff like that.
for those who don't know, Bladder of Steel basically is you have to play the entirety of the endless set list, which is every single song in the game, without pausing, or disconnecting or anything stopping the game. So if your controller runs out of batteries, tough luck. If you accidentally pull a cord out from a wide controller, also completely fucked. If you open the guide button for some reason, fucked. So yeah, not a good one.
Just set it up.
What if you get
toilet.
disconnected by Xbox Live?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that could be
Because
bad too, actually.
there's been a lot of that going on in 360 at the moment.
Yeah, there has actually. It's been a big problem. McNulty also said, "Hit no, I don't want to continue on the last boss of Ninja Gaiden 2 and had to restart all phases again."
Oh my god, Ninja Gaiden gives me PTSD.
Yeah, I think I tried playing on the master difficulty. I got up to the werewolf level, and then I just
Oh yeah, with the scythe. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, that's not the whole-
because I was doing the whole thing where you like make yourself invincible, and then you just go through levels throwing everybody, but you can't throw the werewolf. So
you cannot. You gotta get good, unfortunately. I've done the classic thing of when you're playing something like a 2D Metroidvania, where you got to kill an enemy over and over again for like an object, and you do the thing where like you run in, kill it, run out, run and kill it.
Oh yeah, and then it actually drops it.
Yeah,
But
like your
you're
muscle memory
autopiloting, but
your muscle memory just runs out, and you lose the item, and you just start all over again. Yeah, I've done that.
I've done that
way too many times. And that's always, to be fair, like at that point, I'm just like, that's on me. That's a me just fucking zoning out.
I was gonna say Friday the 13th as well. Like you can't justify 1,000 matches.
Well, no one can.
It's just ridiculous.
I mean, you can if the game's fun and there's people that play it.
Which is it's neither of those things, unfortunately. So,
Battlefield Hardline was the other one too. 10,000 kills in each.
Yeah. Well, you could. Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, thanks, Isaac. Appreciate the questions, mate. Keep writing them in. Yeah. All right, let's get into the news. We've got a lot of news, so we won't spend too much time on it. But Cameron, did you catch the THQ Nordic Digital Showcase?
I caught all the news after the fact.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, including the fact that Alone in the Dark, that I said last week was going to be a thing, was a thing.
Well, to be fair, a lot of people
already said it was a thing, which is fine.
A lot of people like 2 months ago said it was a thing, and everyone's like, "That's the stupidest idea they've ever had," and then they fucking did it. So
interesting.
Maybe they're like, actually, that's memeable.
Yeah. Yes.
It's interesting. Exactly. It's like I hated the 360 version.
Not a good game. It's a very bad game.
Very bad game, but like
interesting concept. Yeah. Terrible execution.
This trailer though actually looked pretty cool. Like I'm actually kind of like on the fence. Like, do I want to check it out?
I mean, I'll probably like. I like the idea. It looks like. I think it'll like
It gave me Alan Wake vibes.
Right.
Which is
to be fair, the old 360 game did too.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be interested to check it out. I'm going to quickly just go through a few of these because there are some PC games in here and we don't know whether they're going to get achievement lists or not. Tempest Rising, inspired by RTS, greats the 90s and 2000s. Base building, real-time strategy game, which I always love a good RTS. Space for Sale, which follows an astronaut on a mission to explore strange new worlds. Seek out new life and build real estate on alien worlds.
It looks like kind of like a cute No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that looks like my kind of game.
Recreation, which is the one I'm most hyped for. It's made up a team of developers behind Burnout and Need for Speed. Combines the two for the new game Recreation.
Okay.
I've wanted something like Burnout Free Takedown for a while. I'm hoping
so is everyone.
Something scratch that itch.
Whatever happened to Destruction Derby? Did you ever play that, Matt?
Yeah, on the PS1 back in the day. Yeah, I love that game. I guess
they were good fun. They were just like mindless, just smashing cars into each other.
Like Wreckfest is, I guess, the closest thing that kind of came out around that, right? But, yeah, it kind of died a death, unfortunately. So did most Destruction Derbies.
They were great games.
Wreckfest is weird. Like I was talking to Steven about it the other day. It does racing well, but it doesn't do Demolition Derby well.
But I don't think there are many things that do Demolition Derbies well. I think that's kind of like it's like as a concept, it's hard to like do. I remember,
they peaked in PlayStation 1 era, and then they just never went anywhere.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's exactly.
And the games worked really well. Like, I mean, obviously, like it was PlayStation 1, so it didn't look amazing, but the damage and all that worked really well. All seemed to flow pretty good.
Demolition Derby on PS2 was my shit. Demolition Derby 2 on PS1 was my shit. Great game, David. Gothic remake of the most iconic German RPG ever. Never heard of Gothic.
Really, Gothic is a classic PC RPG in Western European, like quite like very janky. But like think like what like the Divinity series and stuff that like Piranha Bytes does. So like Risen and that kind of stuff, where it's like it's third person action RPGs.
I saw someone say it's like home brand Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
I would say that's pretty close to it. Yeah, it was kind of like European knockoff. Really interesting series. I think they had what I think Gothic 4 came out on the 360, but I think it had like an Unobtainable, so no one played it. But yeah.
Oh, that's Gothic Arcania or something like that.
That's the one.
Ah, yeah, I've already seen that around, but I've never looked at it.
Yeah, it's cool. Like cool game. I mean, it's definitely not aged great, but it's cool that they're doing a remake.
What was I going to say? Jagged Alliance 3 combines a strategic campaign, turn-based tactical combat, RPG elements. That's also for PC. Outcast 2, which is the sequel to the. It was Games of Gold, yeah.
Yeah, second contact. I think it was. Yeah.
SpongeBob: The Cosmic Shake, to everybody's surprise. So all those remakes were queuing up for something. What?
They were just fun. They were trying to fund. They were just like, hey, have you heard about this hot new IP, SpongeBob?
Yeah. It's brand new.
To be fair, one of those SpongeBob games is supposed to be really good, isn't it?
Yeah, you just got to figure out which one it is.
The one that they just remastered.
That one was
Rehydrated.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, that's really good.
See that's the thing. Like, I like the SpongeBob games because, you know, like back in the PS2 era, for example, yeah, we had all these like really, really just shits, you know, popular IPs like turned into video games.
Licensed.
Licensed games. Yeah.
Every movie, every cartoon, or every movie or TV show had a game.
I'm kind of glad that we're like moving to a point now where like licensed games are actually decent.
That's because they know if they make them easy enough, people will buy them now.
And to be fair, it is easier to make a
game actually play them.
Yeah.
You know, and you can release them digitally, so you don't have to do distribution. That's a fair point.
AEW Fight Forever.
Yeah, whatever. It's wrestling.
Wrestling. Yeah. Big whoop.
I like AEW, so that's probably me. That one's a me.
What you play was the Orange Cast.
I love AEW. Yeah.
Okay. Knights of Honor 2 Sovereign lets peoples control a medieval kingdom in Europe or Northern Africa and command knights, merchants, diplomats, spies, and clerics to make your realm the most powerful in the world. Another
so,
PC
do you like
one?
Paradox Interactive games? Because we got something. We have a knockoff version of one of those, I guess. So hey, all right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
God, Paradox games are way too involved. Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed.
Yeah.
Which I think were we discussing on the podcast last week, or was it just private?
I think we talked about it in general last week, just around kind of because I think they announced the second one was coming, but they had more details here.
It's kind of just flown under the radar though, like not as much.
Yeah, we talked about it last week on the podcast because we were like, there hasn't been much advertising for it like there was for the first one.
Yeah. What else was there? Way of the Hunter, which explores vast open world environments and hunt with a premium selection of firearms for the perfect.
Oh, there you go. That's tedious. What's that Hunter game that I was playing for a while there?
Call of the Wild.
It's just called the Hunter.
Call of the Wild.
Yeah, Call of the Wild.
Call
That's
of
it.
the Wild,
That's it.
Yeah.
You were trying to get us to play. Yeah.
They're for the perfect gamer.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? Game. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Stunfest World Tour, which is another one that I'm interested in. 18 players complete against each other in an elimination-based stunt show through various game modes.
I think that'll be dead in 6 months. So
I felt the same, but it looks like Riders Republic mixed with Wreckfest. So I'm kind of like interested. The Valiant, which plays lead a band of brothers through medieval Europe to stop one mad villain, Ulrich von Grevel, who was trying to get a mythical and powerful artifact that would grant him unearthly powers, and that's also coming to PC.
It reminds me of like Cursed Crusade or First Templar, one of those all 360 games. Which, like, hey, like those games are shit, but I kind of enjoy those kinds of games. So.
And the last big news, which I'm really excited for, is they concluded the digital showcase on Friday by confirming that they're working on a new South Park game.
Great. No idea what direction they'll take it in, because...
I'm hearing multiplayer potentially.
Okay.
They have been
remake South Park 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been good South Park multiplayer games before.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. We'll see.
And if you haven't already, you should go and check out the 25th anniversary concert for South Park, because it is something amazing.
Oh, all right.
That was a wonderful cover of Gay Fish.
There's been a lot of good music out of South Park, to be fair.
They got Rush. They got two of the band members from Rush to do the South Park theme with them.
Wait, really?
Oh, nice.
It was it's pretty cool. So that's all the THQ Nordic stuff. Let's move into Embracer.
Yeah, right.
I haven't even put all the Embracer news on here too. That's the scary thing.
What do you got, Charlotte?
Well, firstly, Embracer have acquired a bunch of companies under Embracer Free Mode. The full list was Middle Earth Enterprises, Limited Run Games, Tuxedo Labs, Tripwire Interactive, Singtrix, Tatsuyan, Bitwave Games, and Geotech, and then another one that they have not disclosed yet.
Which is interesting.
For commercial reasons, a PC console gaming company that is not disclosed. So that's interesting.
So does that mean that probably means it's something pretty big then, if it's for commercial reasons?
Yeah. Yeah, especially considering like they also acquired a lot.
Oh, you just went mute.
Yeah, I did it by accident. I was highlighting something. Because they had the Square Enix deal for 300 million.
Right.
In May.
Yeah, right.
So
God, Embracer is just becoming the absolute powerhouse led by AA.
I might say they're embracing games.
Yeah, no, they're very much taken on their namesake, and they've a real Borg-like quality of just acquiring everything possible.
Assimilate.
Limited Run is such an interesting choice too.
Yeah, because they're not like you'd think. Like they've got a decent business model, but their whole thing isn't really making massive profits. It's just trying to help small developers bring their games to a physical release.
I'm wondering if they wanted a distribution network.
That's what I was going to say. Is that like maybe that fits more with that, especially on the AA front, and especially if they have the contacts to make those, get those out there.
Yeah, the Americans will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they've got a partnership with Walmart or something over in the US.
Right.
To do physical releases in stores as well.
Which would be good for like the Embracer level of games that are more like, AA.
It might just be GameStop actually. I'm not too sure.
Either way, that's still pretty good contact to have.
Tripwire is too good. I really like Maneater.
I still haven't played it. I keep meaning to, but there's always something else in the way.
Good base game, bad DLC. Pretty.
Which is a shame, really. Embracer Group also confirmed that Knights of the Old Republic has switched developers too. So.
Yeah, but we knew that already.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we knew it was going to happen.
It was apparently the rumor is it's going to Saber.
Yeah.
Saber Interactive.
Which Saber would be well more versed to be able to take care of.
What have they done before?
Saber's done. What's their most recent project?
We'll look it up. But I'm excited. I mean, I don't think this is going to change the exclusivity with PlayStation, unfortunately. But, I mean, I'd love to play a remastered Knights of the Old Republic. I think it's...
what was the Evil Dead, SnowRunner, the Crysis remasters? What else? Phoenix Point.
Yeah, they're mostly a porting studio. So
yeah, it's still sort of like for an entire remake. I don't know. It sounds like a big project for them to take on.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it anytime soon.
They did do all the Halo stuff for Windows
for
too.
PC.
Can't someone just buy BioWare from EA and just let them do it again?
I mean, that would be great. Right?
They can't do that until all the single player games are dead.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
That's true.
They'll be buying
they're
corpse.
fans of single player now.
Yeah, well, yeah, apparently, yeah. They have an ongoing commitment to single player.
It's like the I'm blanking on the actor's name. The meme, like just the shoot, just like why would somebody do this?
Oh yeah, Eric Andre.
That's it. Yeah, thank you.
Hannibal Buress, yeah.
Yeah, 100% like that.
Eric and Andre show.
The other quick side note to that too is with the Hobbit and Lord of the Rings IP stuff. Very under the radar, but Private Division is partnering with a workshop to basically work on a new game that's going to be set on the literary side of Middle-earth universe.
Oh, okay.
It's probably going to be like 3 or 4 years off.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah, just the fact that they're announcing it kind of thing this week.
They'll never be able to use the Nemesis system, so that sucks.
Yeah, that was the first comment I made to my bosses. I'm just like, how much of a dick would you have to be to put a patent to that?
That's exactly what I said on Twitter.
Yep, exactly right. Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm sure you could get around it. You know, you just call it something else, and like, because again, the patent's only as good as you can defend.
It depends. Right? I think they were pretty specific about it, where like enemies remember your character, so that might yeah. It's
interesting about patenting ideas, right? I don't know.
Yeah, imagine if every developer patented their game idea.
That was the old Namco thing, right? Where they patented mini games and loading screens, and so you couldn't have mini games and loading screens for like any game except like a couple of Dragon Ball ones had like a Dragon Ball. You could do some, yeah,
ridiculous,
interesting,
so strange. Also, Dead Island 2 got leaked, apparently.
When you posted
and now
this,
Alex needs to buy new pants.
Yeah.
When you posted it in the Discord, I was like, what the fuck is this week?
Yep.
There's so much news. There's so much fucking leaks. Like, what the fuck?
So there's not much to say here. We don't really know anything. It was leaked on Amazon, but basically it looks like it's planned to come out February next year. So, all right.
I wonder if they'll make people go nuts by releasing a lady's torso again.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that was a fun time.
Fuck, that was talking about PR blunders. Holy shit.
Well, most people didn't care. It was just some people just lost their minds over it.
Hey, you know, any
I feel like it would be worse now.
Oh, yeah.
So
maybe, yeah.
So what we know from the leaked stuff from Amazon, Dead Island 2 takes place across the most iconic locations of the City of Angels, now stained in horror and exciting pulp journey. It's weird that it's not like, I mean, of course we knew it was going to be on a beach, but like I was expecting another island kind of setting because
I mean
they did the island.
They did that, right? Like, and that was
but
a long
also
time ago.
It's called Dead Island.
Dead Island.
I mean, so
well, every continent is an island. They're just different sizes.
I mean, look, there's nothing wrong. I mean, I'm sure there will be islands in the game.
Technically, America is still an island. It's a body of land in water.
No man is an island, unfortunately.
The rumors going around that they were going to do 3 iconic US spots, but then they downsized the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be on Staten Island.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Maybe it'll be on
see, America has islands.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah.
Maybe Hawaii.
The game still looks like shit, but whatever. I'm not.
I'm just waiting for it to come out so Alex can get a day one and we all say the Dying Light is better.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like it's Dying Light without the parkour, which is the best part.
Parkour!
Yeah.
I love Dying Light though, yeah.
Death Stranding might be coming to PC Game Pass. Do we care?
I think it's all but confirmed.
Just to see people lose their freaking minds when it does.
Look,
fair.
Okay, there's 2 ways this can go, yeah? If it has achievements, we care a little. If it doesn't have achievements, we don't care at all.
We don't care. Yeah.
I still care because I want to see all the PlayStation people just cry.
That's such a terrible reason.
It's a very funny reason, though.
It's a funny reason.
You could.
It is a pretty funny reason.
I don't really care about.
But we don't incite console
wars. The
wars.
amount that they go off is very funny.
Mm-hmm.
the idea of an Xbox game, a PlayStation game coming out on an Xbox platform would like ruin their lives.
It would be pretty funny.
The way I look at this is pretty much the fact that if publishers can take their, like, you know, they don't have the rights with Sony for the PC port. If there's more circumstances like this and we can get more stuff potentially coming to PC Game Pass, it's a win.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, imagine if Spider-Man went on Game Pass.
Fuck, that'd be amazing.
I'd be
wow.
That
Jesus Christ.
That PC port's doing very fucking well with the reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Very tempted when it hits the sale.
I will avoid talking about the other news that happened with that game.
The flag thing?
Yeah, the flag thing.
Wait, the flag thing?
Yep.
Look, okay, let's talk about
we're not
positive.
talking about the flag thing.
Swiftly.
Wilson Fisk is a perfect mod.
We've also got some Tales from the Borderlands news, which I'm very fucking excited about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, probably the best Telltale game that they've ever put out, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But apparently there's going to be a new Tales from the Borderlands. Like, apparently that's what it's called. Which I was like, all right, you know, I guess that works. Yeah, it was on Amazon again, just leaking fucking everything this week. But apparently it looks like it's going to be like October 21st. I don't know if it's going to be episodic like the originals, or again, it's been a while since Telltale's put out a game, right? So
Well, I completely forgot about this existence. I've 100% been like Wolf Among Us 2. But like I'm in two minds about this. I'm excited for a new Tales from the Borderlands, but the fact that they're not concentrating on the free characters from Tales from the Borderlands kind of makes me feel a little bit,
I don't know. I mean, like I take every sort of one of these narrative games just kind of as they are, right? And we'll just kind of see how it goes, because it's so much about the writing. Like that's all the game really has. So like, if the writing's good, they can get away with just about anything. And Tales from the Borderlands is definitely my favorite of the sort of Telltale narrative games. Although I like Batman, and I like
Batman's pretty good.
And Wolf Among Us I enjoyed as well. But I think that Tales from the Borderlands fits so perfectly. It is also very fucking funny.
Yeah,
like,
if it has that tone, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, as long as they can continue that. I mean, look, that the finger gun fight in the middle of that game is one of the greatest scenes in video game history. It's
the
so
bro
good.
scene is pretty good too.
Yeah, the bro scene. Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. Like there's some. I'd love to just.
It's Fiona and Reese, yeah.
Yeah, it's Fiona and Reese.
I'm hoping that they are somewhat involved, even if it is minor characters.
I don't know, because I think the thing is that like they kind of got gypped on Borderlands 3. Well, their voice actors did,
which I haven't played, so.
Yeah, right. I don't think. I mean, neither did I. But like, I heard stuff from around because it was Troy Baker and was it Laura Bailey? I think, which is like again, voice acting superstars. And they basically didn't get them back for Borderlands 3 for their cameo appearances, which is like just seems kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit worried, but I don't know. I'll be interested to see. I will. I'm hoping that apparently it's going to be like a $50 game, so it's like 50.
Yeah, that's the thing. Double the original price.
So I don't know if it's going to be episodic or it might just be, a one and done. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm curious. I'll definitely check it out. Hopefully it ends up on Game Pass at some stage. If you haven't played the original, I highly recommend it.
Agreed.
What's happening with No More Robots, Cameron?
So No More Robots is like one of my favorite publishers, because they have like a whole bunch of awesome games like Yes Your Grace. I will fight to the death. That is an amazing game.
I have never said that it wasn't a good game.
Yeah.
I just said that I didn't gel with it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Played it.
Hypnosis Outlaw, Let's Build a Zoo, which I'm very pumped for when it finally gets a console port, and Soccer Story. So this is pretty much just a continuing on of what Mike Rose said last week, that there are 6 games coming to Xbox Game Pass over the next 12 months, but TA actually did a chat with the team after they had Phil Spencer visit, which was pretty nice. So yeah, Soccer Story was announced, confirmed day 1. We don't know yet what the other Game Pass editions might be, but he did speak a little bit more about the Xbox Game Pass experience. means that all of these games will get a ton of players that they wouldn't have without Game Pass, and B, all of these games will be profitable day one. So really not a lot to complain about.
Yeah.
And Mike Rose, at the same time, every time I see a discussion on Twitter that's just like, the devs are not, getting their paychecks, or, they're going to go broke because of these kind of deals, and et cetera, et cetera. It's always Mike Rose on the top of the thread going like, hey, wait a minute. I've got, how many games? At least 3 or 4 now that have been launched into Game Pass, day one. I can't remember. Descenders was day one? Maybe
so.
5 games. There's been a few anyway. But just, basically saying like how much of a huge deal it is, and talked about it before, to be able to do a deal where you're immediately making all the cost of development back up, keeping those devs in a job, giving a wide audience to these games, and, getting people to buy a game that they might have otherwise missed, like definitely from the marketing angle.
Yeah.
Always huge pluses. Yeah. He does say, though, on the flip side, he can't say how good or bad it is for a AA or a AAA studio who are spending millions of dollars and seeing sales dropping right now, where it's, a bit of a scary time.
Sure. We're definitely in a transition phase in terms of like how games get to people and what people want. Which is great for us, the consumer, right? Because we get everything we want. And to be fair, I think most of our purview has been on indie and smaller games at the moment anyway. Because AAA kind of just haven't been hitting the mark in terms of getting games out and having them be quality.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but partly their fault, partly the environment that their games are made in these days, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, we're giving them money. We want quality, and if we're not getting it, then we'll find it elsewhere.
Yeah. The last thing I was going to quickly say with that too is Let's Build a Zoo comes onto Xbox in September, and then the other rural life RPG, which is Spirit Tea, which looks like Stardew Valley. If you're
Spirited Away in Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Yeah.
Also coming out this year, and then I can't remember if Soccer Story was end of the year, or other than it was just confirmed to come to Game Pass day one.
Yeah, it's just confirmed to come to Game Pass day one. I don't think it's actually got a date or anything yet.
Yeah.
We're still waiting on a date for it.
So yeah, thought it was a pretty good story. I just love the fact that so many indies are coming to Game Pass.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of companies getting fucking paid to get onto Game Pass, apparently Microsoft paid $600,000 for Cooking Simulator on Game Pass. I don't know if there's much more to say. That just seems like a lot.
It seems excessive.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but
have the developers of Cooking Simulator made anything else?
that is a good question.
Maybe it's sort of like what's the word?
Big Cheese Studios. I don't know if they have. Game's been out since 2020, so they possibly could be working on something else. And
okay.
Or just
maybe it's like
continue to
something that they did to future games might have a better chance of coming sooner.
Yeah.
All right, so they're supporting Cooking Simulator and working on 2 new titles, which is Pizza Empire and B17.
Okay.
I'm just looking at the Steam page for Cooking Simulator now, and there's a whole bunch of like DLC, Shelter, VR, Pizza, Chaos.
Yeah, Pizza's
Tool.
broken though. Last I looked.
Yeah.
On Xbox,
Cooking with Food Network.
All right.
Pretty
Okay.
cool. I do like one of the best comments on the TA discussion was poor Microsoft spent $600K on it, and I can just buy it for $30.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a classic. And then someone else also said that nothing compares to the millions that paid for Guardians of the Galaxy. It does kind of put it in perspective, right? Like I can only imagine how much money Microsoft are basically spending to get these titles onto Game Pass to make it an appealing service.
Yeah.
To be fair though, like it was a pretty big studio that made Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, but
Square Enix, like it's it's fucking like a lot of money. It makes sense. It's just that the amounts that we're dealing with here are kind of a little hard to wrap your head around when it comes to developing video games.
The last thing I was going to say, that the report goes on to detail that the contract, $600,000 US, constitutes approximately 22% of the net profit and 17% of the company's net revenue from sale of products. So for a game that's already been out for, I said
2 years.
2020, so 2 years.
Yeah, that's already been out for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years.
That's exactly. A big injection, yeah.
You know, it's 100% a big injection. And then somebody, like, I can't confirm how true this is, but somebody was saying if that was based over 20,000 users, it would work out to be, what was it, 21 cents or something? Per person. Which, if you think of it like that,
I guess if you break it down that way, sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Interesting, nonetheless.
Also, apparently there was an Iron Man game in development that got cancelled. I know there's another one in the works at the moment, right? EA is working on something that's using the Anthem tech.
Apparently,
Apparently, again, not.
Look, I don't know if they're using the Anthem tech, but that would make the most sense.
That's kind of the logical conclusion people have driven. I mean, I don't know how else that would make it. But apparently the studio behind Just Cause, which I think is Avalanche Studios.
Maybe it's not the Iron Man in that. Maybe it's a Tony Stark simulator, and we're playing like Playboy kind of.
Avalanche.
Maybe
it was Avalanche that was saying that they were offered to develop something, but the demands.
It was crazy. They would have had to put on 70 to 80 new staff members.
Yeah,
and then after that, have the responsibility to find a new project for them after.
Jeez,
because you've got your downtime and all that where you're, you've only keeping your full time staff on to have something like that is fucking crazy. I'm glad that they called it what it was though, and said it would have broken Avalanche and decided to do away.
Well, they've been getting a bit of heat lately with the whole visual effects and everything like that as well.
For
Disney,
Disney with Marvel,
I thought that's what you meant, but I wasn't sure if you were saying that about Avalanche, and I was
No, I was talking about Disney.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. At the end at the end of the project, when the team is scaling down, that's when you have to find a new project with 1 year of development time cut out from the original plan.
I mean, it also feels like they've really missed the boat on an Iron Man game, right? Like Iron Man, they don't even have Iron Man in the MCU at the moment.
Yeah, Iron Man's kind of
done.
Too late for Iron Man, too early for Iron Heart.
We got Iron Heart coming out soon. Yeah.
Just repurpose the game. Yeah, it's fun.
I don't know. I mean, I think the Just Cause devs are probably a good one for an open world flying game. They did the wingsuit tech quite well. In Just Cause 3 and 4, so it does make some sort of sense, I suppose. But probably the smart move. Although, like we said, I guess I'll be interested to see kind of potentially what happens with the Electronic Arts. Apparently, it's going to be a single player Iron Man game, and they're also working on a Black Panther game as well. So Disney's back into making games or getting games made, as it were.
Well, they're having that. That showcase in September, maybe it was the end of August. They're showing off the Dream Valley, or whatever it is,
right?
Midnight Suns, and then another project. I really want a Daredevil game.
Okay. I wonder how that would work.
Just be Spider-Man with extra steps.
Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
Well, you could just have everything.
It'd be Batman.
Be his vision kind of thing, so it would be more like seeing things through his senses.
But
Batman with detective vision.
He has to be voiced by Charlie Cox.
Yeah,
so
non-negotiable.
Fair.
I mean, doing a Defenders game would be interesting, but then again, it's at that point, it's do another.
You say
Marvel
Defenders, and I think Netflix, and I'm just like
they did another Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but you got. Shafted.
Unfortunately, which is a shame because I actually was playing, went back and played the original a few weeks back, and it's actually still fun, if a bit ropey.
Oh yeah, it didn't age well, but it's still good.
It's still good fun. It's still going around beating the shit out of fucking Ultimo and stuff.
Talking of Marvel games, Midnight Suns got pushed back to Q1 2023.
It's Marvel, baby. Oh, we got that Mango Sentinel.
I'm
gonna post
interested
that
to
in-
see how it ends up, especially seeing that it's a tactics card game.
I'm really looking forward to it.
I mean, like I'm interested in the concept.
I like the idea of XCOM. I'm just shit at it. Because it requires too much forward thought, and I'm just like.
I'm really looking forward to Midnight Suns coming out.
Yeah,
I'm actually kind of happy it got pushed back. I'm happy a lot of the games getting pushed back because Star Ocean comes out in October, and that's probably going to be my main thing for a while.
Especially if the achievements or anything like the other one.
The one positive about games being pushed back is game reviewers in February have to strap themselves to a couch for like 20 days straight to be able to play through the colossal amount of shit that's coming out.
I mean,
You're gonna have to do that in October anyway.
I've decided that after Star Ocean, I'm just not going to buy Square Enix games anymore because I'm sick of them screwing Xbox over every time.
Yeah, I'm with you.
100% of that. So yeah, games that are getting delayed. Metal Slug Tactics got pushed to the 2023, which is
Metal Slug.
Yeah, Metal Slug Tactics.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Metal Gear Slug in a tactics format.
Yeah, no, but it's like it looks just like like they got the art style and everything. It's great.
Yeah.
It looks really
nice.
cool.
Arc Raiders, which I didn't know much about, but it looks interesting. People are describing as Destiny meets War of the Worlds.
Okay.
So yeah, pushed to 2023. They're putting development on a team multiplayer game, but I don't really know much about that. But yeah, like Arc Raiders looks cool based off the trailer, so hopefully it is 2023 and not 2024. Deliver Us Mars, which is the follow-up to Deliver Us the Moon, got pushed back to 2nd of February 2023.
I'm very excited for that. I really enjoyed Deliver Us the Moon.
I don't think I've ever even heard of it.
It was on Game
Pass, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a sort of first-person puzzle simulator. As you basically get on it's like, hey, you've landed on Mars on the space station, and there's fucking no one there. You need to figure out what the fuck happened to all these people.
So it's The Witness, but on the moon.
Kind of, yeah.
Nailed it.
Evil West, which is the Wild West vampire hunting game from Shadow Warrior developer Flying Wild Hogs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you showed the trailer for that on your stream, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Because James Chapters was very excited, still is, but he was really looking forward to that.
He's gonna have to play a little bit more. What is it? Themisia until
Themisia,
that's it.
Yeah, he's stuck into that. He's fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
We'll see him in a couple of months.
So yeah, it only got pushed back to 22nd of November this year. Hogwarts Legacy, we talked about last week, got pushed back to Feb 10th.
Yeah.
And the one that came out today is High on Life, got pushed back to December 13th.
I'm sad about. I was really looking forward to
that was. I was not really expecting that one.
That's fine. Don't have to fight over Plague Tale now.
I wasn't super surprised. What does that fucking comment on Xbox Cast order? Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. There was some fucking tweet that I saw that was just like, what is this bullshit? When someone was saying,
"Is it Lee talking about Elden Ring coming to Game Pass?"
Yeah, that was.
My god!
No, the tweet was Xbox had High on Life moved to December because they got word that the Activision deal will be done by the end of October and COD will drop into day one onto Game Pass on 10/28.
Oh no!
Like, come on! Like that's the reason they were like, yeah.
Is that a lead tweet?
Not.
No, it's not. But it's
does it sound like one?
It does, right? Yeah. Well, to be fair, Lee is tagged in that post, being like, "Hey, look at this."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that deal doesn't even finish until next.
Yeah, exactly.
year.
It's like, the people are just full of shit.
It's gonna be a while.
The game's not done. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not super surprised that it got delayed. I mean, but like December 13th, that's like kind of leaving games
6
up
weeks.
to die. That's leaving games to die kind of date. You know, like that's like anything past like December, anything past the end of
I don't know,
November.
do we have anything big around that time?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's
is that,
normally
like,
that is your COD, your Assassin's Creed.
yeah, but that's usually
That's
like
that general
that's like
window.
October, November, right? Like that's
Yeah.
when those games come out.
It would
But
be
it's like,
October.
December's a date you have to be very careful of because it's right before the Christmas kind of thing, and it's usually a little bit.
It's
too
kind of
late.
almost a little bit
don't-
too late.
I don't think they have
if
to
you're
worry
gonna
because
do-
they released day one on Game Pass, so they're probably already covered.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I mean,
that's
development
true,
costs
that's
will be covered. That's fine. But like in terms
Yeah.
of
But
getting
if you
your
want it for
traction,
like actually selling it,
yeah.
Yeah, if you got if
it's
you're a
not a
marketing
good time
push-
to be selling it.
I
No,
wonder
which is
if
why, like,
it's
now
going to be
that's-
one of those things where where it's going to like eventually get DLC or anything like that as well.
Probably, yeah.
The week after it drops out.
Yeah, I wonder who would do that.
Hey, sometimes
fine.
things don't line up,
Thanks, Boyfriend Dungeon.
and sometimes people that work in the industry now make publishers aware that this thing is something that should be avoided.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
It's not a good thing to do,
all right.
but I'll still look at buying it.
You know what? I want an Atomic Heart release date already. That's what I
it's
want.
not, there's no way that's coming this year. There's no way.
I swear to God, if
That's
it's
not till
February,
next year.
I swear to God, if it's February, there's too many things coming out in February.
I don't know. With there's heaps of really big ones in February, so it's pretty stacked.
It's usually nothing in January, nothing December. Usually that's like you usually get maybe like one game.
Yeah.
each
You know
of those,
what,
and
though?
the rest is Feb, March.
There's so many like double A's popping up now that I'm like kind of like really getting interested in just based on the trailer.
Okay.
And going, I want to play this. It's
All
coming
right,
day
all right,
one
but-
Game Pass.
If you want to hear more about kind of what's coming out in the next few months, we did a whole fucking episode of Hall of Debaters that'll be available for our patrons probably next week when I get around to editing it.
All our special Patreons.
Yeah, so you can hear all about our views on the games that are coming up until the end of the financial year. And that's pretty much all of our news. Cameron, do we have any Game Pass updates?
I was going to say, did you guys talk about the whole Sony whinging that Call of Duty was going to
Yes.
break their
Yeah,
ass?
that was last week.
Oh,
that
yeah,
was
but
last
you don't
week.
listen to
We
the
went
podcast?
over that.
It was very funny.
Yeah, tell us you don't listen to the podcast without telling us you don't listen to the podcast.
He's
I've
just
got
not
a
caught
busy
up.
life, man.
Busy.
It's fine.
You can't fool us, mate. All right, what's happening
All right.
on Game Pass?
So games that have coming or have came to Game Pass. Coffee Talk, one of the best games of gold games I've ever played. Highly recommend. I'm very excited for when 2 drops next year, which what is it called again? Hibiscus and something.
That's a snooze fest for me, sorry.
Great game.
Talking
Very,
and walking
very wholesome.
simulators just don't do it for me.
You just sit there and talk to people in a coffee shop, and one of them happens to be a
You do.
werewolf.
It's
know?
kinda
Fine, I
great.
can pretend to
liked
have
it.
friends for like a little piece of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, just have a chill experience, and okay, I don't want to spoil that, but there's some interesting story stuff too.
Yeah, cool.
else?
Midnight Flight Express, which looks amazing, coming out in a few days, 23rd.
Yeah.
Solo dev with a little bit of help from some other high-profile devs. Exapunk's coming PC on August 25th. Know nothing about that one. Opus Echo of Star Song Full Bloom Edition, I believe, is a visual novel.
Oh, okay.
I know
Okay.
nothing about that one either. Apparently, other than apparently, it's really, really good.
Cool.
August 30th, Commander's Free HD Remaster, Immortality, which I think is the only indie from Edge magazine to ever receive a 10 out of 10.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, Edge
Wow.
were real fucking sticklers when it came to that shit. So
Yeah. So I'm like visual novel as well, from the same one. Sorry, not visual novel. FMV. What am I saying?
FMV, yeah.
FMV
okay.
from the same one that does. What's the ones that just hit Game Pass recently? Telling Lies.
FMVs are just visual novels that move.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, that's true.
way to be reductionist, Brad.
Wow.
Telling
Fair,
Lies,
yeah.
and what was the other one?
Her story.
Her Story. That's
Her story, yeah.
it. So yeah, I'm really keen to check that one out. Immortals Phoenix Rising, which if you haven't talked, Matt, talking
Yeah.
about how he
Awesome
absolutely
game.
loves it.
Yeah, really good game.
cool.
Fantastic.
Overstays its welcome a bit, but like
I think that was one of my favorite games in the last year.
You know
That was
what?
fantastic.
Loved
The
it.
Ubisoft made a good open world game for once.
It just needed to be half
Yeah.
as big as it was.
Yeah.
Also,
Maybe a
the
little bit
DLC,
more
I thought the
variety on
size was
puzzles.
fine.
the DLC was actually like pretty good for that game. It was really interesting. I liked it. a lot.
They're supposed to be doing another one that's going to be based on
Polynesia.
Polynesia.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
That'll be cool.
one of the DLCs was based on China, so that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then the other one was turned the game into Diablo, which I was like, sweet, that's super weird and interesting.
I think Polynesia will be super interesting because not a lot of things cover that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be keen for sure.
And the last one I'm really keen for, which I completely forgot about, Tinykin is coming to Game Pass.
Heineken.
Which, if you haven't seen already, basically looks like Pikmin, and anything that is Pikmin related, I fucking love.
Never played it.
Man, it's such a good game. One of the best GameCube games ever
It does
made.
look very cute.
Pikmin 2 in particular is really good.
Can't beat the classics in my opinion, but yeah. QuakeCon also happening with a whole bunch of Game Pass announcements. Joining PC Game Pass today were Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Quake 4, Wolfenstein 3D, An Elder Scrolls Legend Battlespire, and The Elder Scrolls Adventures Redguard. I don't think any of these had achievements.
No.
However,
they're all pretty old games, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of them had never been weren't for sale. They haven't been for sale for ages, so it's cool to get.
Still a good get in that regard.
Yeah, for sure.
But the main thing that I was interested in is there is a new Game Pass perk that will enable players to unlock all champions in Quake Champions that does have achievements. However, it looks like a fucking grind fest.
I was going to say, and no one plays it. So unfortunately,
this is why it's coming to Game Pass.
Pretty much, it's dead. So
try to kick up the player base.
Yep. So yeah, 1,000 hours. Sorry, not 1,000 hours. 1,000 matches, kind of deal. So if you want another Splitgate on your radar, go for it. Also, we get a release date for Beacon Pines, which is another gorgeous looking indie that's coming out September 22nd. There was another Game Pass announcement that looked like a 2D Metroidvania, kind of the Dark Souls pixel art kind of stuff.
Really?
I'm trying to think what it was called. I saw it yesterday, but I haven't added it.
Would it be on Game Pass counters?
Possibly. I'll double check. And then there's a whole bunch of stuff leaving Game Pass as well. Which is
a big list leaving.
Yeah, heaps. There's so much stuff leaving.
Oh yeah, Train Sim World talked about coming September 6th. Train Sim World 2 is probably going to get delisted with the Unobtainable Achievements still there. Moonscars coming out September 27th.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which looks freaking amazing. Under
You
Grim
sure it's not
Moonlight, the Fierce
Moon's
Clay
Cars?
Dawn. What was that?
You just racing on the moon? Moon's cars?
No. I'm
pretty sure that's what it is.
Anyway, the pixel art looks amazing, and Matt, shut up.
Wow. There's a few things leaving. So Elite Dangerous, which good luck finishing that.
Oh, you have time.
No,
all right, let's go.
No one has time.
We'll go to the recommendations first. Mist, that's a few hours.
That I finished that in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So
it's Mist is fine.
Yeah, you might need to use the PC if you want to do the speed run, but a lot of people will say
you don't.
You can do it without that. You don't need it.
Okay. It kind of sounds like a 50-50 from the community.
The community is incorrect. Basically, I managed to do it on a controller in 20 minutes.
Okay.
So it's not super simple.
And Dio was able to do it on the controller. He tried doing it without with keyboard and that beforehand, and he ended up just doing it with the controller. It was fine.
It is easier with a mouse, but it's fine. It's Mist. If you've played Mist, it's that same game.
Yeah.
What remains of Edith Finch? What's that, 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah, but 100% do it.
Yeah.
And if you can stay awake that long.
Wow, that game is great, Brad. I don't give a fuck what you think.
Rude.
12 minutes.
Okay, not great, but also quite quick.
I think everybody should.
If you want the 1,000, do it.
I think if you have the time for it, you should do it because it's a very interesting game loop. However, I think the story is a letdown.
I heard it was super frustrating because you constantly repeating the same actions to try and get something to happen.
I was quite lucky. We've talked about it when we played it, right? But I was quite lucky in that I hit most of the beats the way they intended them to, and I didn't really have any trouble. I was like, okay, because I was like, okay, I'm going to try this, and it worked, and I was like, nailed it. I'm a fucking genius. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try this, nailed it. I'm a fucking genius. Okay, I'm stuck on this. Okay, I'm just going to try something nuts, and it worked. And I was like, okay, I'm still a fucking genius. And then I got to the end, and I was like, what?
Yeah. Look, I played with Nikita, and the gameplay loop was actually pretty fun. It was just
just the end of the story that was a letdown. I'm like, I get why they had the story that way. I get it, but also,
Yeah.
Was it a congratulations you played yourself ending?
Kind of.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kind of.
So yeah, a lot of good stuff leaving this. Signs of the Soldieneer, I need to go back to. I really like that game because it is a deck builder that incorporates language into its gameplay loop.
I hope you like RNG.
Yeah, RNG is the downside of that one, but I definitely recommend it as an experience. But if you're completionist, avoid. World War Z, you're not going to have enough time to do, but I've seen it on enough sales, so if you're currently working on it, just pick it up on when it's like $5-10 again. Same thing about 2 Point Hospital. Not surprised that it's leaving now that 2 Point Campus has come out. Still really enjoyable game that I actually went out and bought on disc because of how much I cared about it.
Yeah.
Spiritfarer Farewell Edition. Seems like a few people are not gelling with this.
I'll talk about it. I've been playing it, so I'll talk about it.
Cool. NBA 2K 2022. Basketball goes bounce. Not much else to say there. And if you have, I doubt it. If you've got like 2 weeks off of leave or something, do Hades. Hades is an amazing game, or just go and buy it.
It is, but it's
Come on,
so
I did
big.
it in
Just go buy it.
I did it in 5 days. Come on, it's not that hard. I mean, I didn't sleep
And
that
it
whole 5
only
days.
cost me.
It only took me 70 hours. Yeah, so good luck.
Look, if you're not a completionist, do a few runs of Hades.
Yeah.
I know who I'm talking to at the same. I need to keep that in mind. But there's quite a few really good games on this list that vary in gameplay style or game loops that I definitely recommend you guys check out just for the experience. But look, if you're a completionist, I would definitely recommend that you do Myst and What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah.
In 12 minutes if you have time.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, these games are, they do have the Game Pass discount. So if you do want to pick them up, that's part of their marketing, right? They're like, hey, it's like 20% off or whatever.
You know what? The one positive we can say is I dare say nothing on that list is probably going to get DLC.
That is true.
Probably not.
None like Boyfriend Dungeon.
No. Hades probably not. If I was going to buy any of those, it'd be Hades, yeah.
Hades is one that I will
DLC,
buy.
it would have by now.
Yeah, for sure.
I think all these games that are on this list have basically they've run their cycle.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into what we've been playing. I have not been playing much, so I'll just go first. I finished Route B of Omori. When I said that game went places, the second playthrough does not change that. Again, like so much of this game is story related, so I don't want to spoil things. I really want people to play this so I can talk to them about it, because a lot of this game is about implication and about exploration and understanding. I mean, like the game has a content warning when you fire it up, which is like it's a game that involves suicide and depression. Like it covers some heavy topics, but it's more about like a lot of it's more like implied and like the game's a little bit about trauma and also like overcoming tragedy. But it's also a very cute game that, again, like I said, has very earthbound feel, a real earthbound feel to it, where it's like you and a bunch of friends, one of your friends goes missing, so you have to go on a grand adventure around this wacky world to try and find them. And every now and then you find some sort of slightly dark, slightly fucked up shit in the corners of the world that kind of make you question, like, wow, what actually is going on here? And that's all I'll say about it. But the second route, has a less good story, but has more gameplay. Like there's certain parts of the first route that you can't do in the second route, but there's like all the end game stuff is in the second route. So if you want to fight like the super bosses or do like a full completionist bit, it's usually you need to do route B. But you got to do both of them anyway. My only real issue with the game is that the content doesn't really change much between the routes, but you have to lock in your route pretty early on. After like I had a save. It took me 5 hours to get through the prologue, and I had a save there, and that's where you make your decision between A and B. And it took me 22 hours to do route A. And then another like 20 hours to do route B. But a lot of that, like I'd say like 15 hours of that content is pretty much the same, unfortunately. You have to replay a lot. I really wish the game had like a new game plus or something. It kind of goes against the idea of the game, I know, but just from a gameplay perspective, it's not the best. But I highly recommend it. If you like turn-based RPGs, if you like Earthbound, if you like that kind of style, if you're into sort of the more sort of interesting psychological stuff, I'd love to do a spoiler cast on it at some stage. And it's in Game Pass, so I definitely recommend it. And then the other thing I've been playing, I played through Myst quickly, which again, nothing to say there. I just followed a guide and got the speedrun done. I also been playing Spiritfarer. Yeah, it did not. It doesn't. So I put about an hour into it yesterday, and I was not digging it at all. I was not getting into it. It's the game basically is you're dead, I guess. It's not really expanded upon, but Charon basically is like, hey, I'm retiring, and you're the new Spiritfarer, so you need to get a boat, and you need to basically help these people solve their baggage so they can move on to the afterlife. And that's pretty much it. And you're like, okay, cool. And then you start meeting people, but the people that you meet are people from your old life. And so I've only sent one person. I've only like helped one person so far, but I have another like 4 other people on my boat at the moment that I'm kind of slowly working through. But it seems like they're all like family members or friends around you, and so you're learning about yourself through their interactions with them. And I know it's supposed to be a real tearjerker, and I know it's going to get emotional. Even sending off the first person was like, wow, okay, I can see this is going to be one of those kinds of games. I love the art style. I love the concept. Playing the game's kind of fucking boring though. Because basically you have a big boat, you collect resources to build like houses for the people, and also like mills, and like you can build like a sawmill, so when you get wood from chopping down trees, you can turn them into planks to build more things, and you can put like a garden, and then it's like a garden or like a field, so you can grow stuff. You can fish. Like it's a resource management game, but like it's a really chill one, because like there's the only penalty for basically like not doing something is that the spirits will get a little bit annoyed you haven't fed them in a while, and you can just give them their favorite food and they'll be happy again, and you like they can't die because they're already dead, so it doesn't really matter. And so you just go around on your boat and just like go to islands, discover stuff, find resources, do some mining, chop down some trees, find some animals, cook stuff. Like it's a crafting management simulator game, but like a super laid back one.
If they're dead, why do they need food?
Because it's like their favorite. You basically have to make them happy. You have to make them like ecstatic. So like building them a house or a place for them to live on the boat, and then also like do it.
But they're dead though. That seems like a waste of resources.
I mean,
the whole thing seem like good resource management.
It's the afterlife.
I don't know. Like again, I'm not questioning it. I don't. You get no backstory on how you got there. I imagine that will come with. I've met the Lord of the Underworld. He said something very cryptic to me and then fucked off. It looked like I like the idea and I like the concept, but playing the game is like, I don't really like management games to begin with. And this is a very light management game. But it is basically just like, okay, well, I need to go around and collect resources so I can build things, so I can do quests to collect more resources, so I can build things to do more quests until we run out of quests. And do some exploring and that kind of stuff. And like, there's some very basic platforming, but yeah, I think like it's okay. I've started it. I'm going to finish it. But yeah, I can see why people aren't like super gelling with it, because I don't think it's that compelling. I think it's a bit of a slow burn, and for Valak game, this is basically the worst kind of game for that, because it's the kind of game where you really should be taking your time and just kind of exploring and just kind of like you can't die. There are no enemies in the game. There's none of that. Like it's just you just kind of have like a nice chill experience floating around on your boat. But yeah, that's all I played this week. I have no idea what score I got, but probably not a huge amount. Charlotte, what about you?
Sure. I have not played much this week at all. I've only done a bit on my stream, so I jumped onto Cult of the Lamb again for a little bit. I've done a little bit more of Fallen Order, which I'm still loving. It's still great. I completed North. That is fucking weird.
Yep.
It's a weird game.
Oh, is that really trippy, like I can't like all
it's
polygons?
like a walking sim, but
yeah.
it's
Weird
not even
walking
that
sim.
long,
Yeah.
and like you just walk around, and there's an alien that you have to feed, and then you
Apparently,
feed it
it's supposed to be like an
rocks.
allegory for like immigration or something.
Yeah, there's an immigration office, so
Yeah.
all right, yeah, it was weird. Anyway, I went and read a lot of post boxes at the end, a lot of post boxes, and a lot of post boxes multiple times, because the dialogue just wouldn't change, and I'm like, what am I doing? So I just had to keep reading them until it worked. that's pretty much it for me this week. I haven't really been doing much. Yeah.
Brad?
I also did some Cult of the Lamb. Pretty fun little game.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if the roguelike stuff was a bit more roguelikely. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
From what I hear, it's more like Animal Crossing first, and then roguelike is kind of like an extra bit they kind of chucked onto it.
I don't even think I would call it roguelike, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's right on the cusp of it.
Right.
I would say like how Boyfriend Dungeons kind of, probably not to that extent, but like how they do the dungeons is how this is to Cult of the Lamb.
Just really basic.
I think like it's fairly basic. Like I feel like it's one of those things that they can add like more weapons and all that. Like it's a good building like base.
Yeah.
And I think how popular this game has been, like we've already 1 billion purchases. I feel like this will be the thing that Massive Monster potentially looks into DLC for.
Yeah, so like
I could see it having DLC.
They said there's going to be a lot of free updates and stuff coming to it.
Yeah.
But like the key thing for me for roguelites is being able to do builds. So like that's where stuff like the Binding of Isaac, Slay the Spire, all that sort of stuff you can build into something.
There's not enough diversity and
Cult of the Lamb, there's like a couple of tarot cards, which is fine, but the weapons there's not
Majority
really that much
is
diversity.
Random. Yeah. Like you don't get to choose.
I mean, the idea of roguelikes is randomized builds. But yeah.
Yeah.
Is there meant to be an endless run for this? Because every time that I've tried to find one, I keep on getting thrown back after about like 3 dungeons deep.
I don't know if it's endless. Yeah. I haven't tried. So yeah, I played through that. I think I've only killed the second boss in that so far, and I haven't really gone much further. Still playing Gems of War, but I think I'll probably be getting over that soon. I'll move back on and probably go back to Sea of Thieves again.
If it's not one grind, it's another.
I actually started playing Fallout 76.
Jesus, yeah. Okay.
Which actually, I kind of regret saying it, but it's not that bad. It's just Fallout.
Right.
I mean, it's better that they've added like talking NPCs and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty much just Fallout. You don't really run into other people. At least I haven't. Yeah. I've seen like a couple of random people, and their names pop up on the map. But other than that, you're just playing Fallout.
How many people are you going to fall in? Run into in a nuclear holocaust anyway.
I mean, there's still lots. I mean, that's the whole point of the votes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Did you see the leaked TV?
The Amazon one?
Yeah.
I heard that what's that guy's name? Weird looking fella. He's going to be like the main character. He was in that show, The Unicorn or something.
I don't know. This just sounds like Fallout 4's character customization.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
I don't know. I mean, like I'm interested.
His name.
I'm interested. Just to be.
It led up on live camera action, as all these things end up doing.
No one knows his name, but as soon as you see a picture of him, you'll know who he is.
Feels like that guy.
Walton Goggins. That's it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep. He's got the strange eyes. Yep.
Okay.
Well, he's got the massive forehead too.
Yep. He does. So you're enjoying 76?
I mean, it's okay. It's not super exciting, but yeah, it's going okay. It's not too bad.
Play with Nick. You can have fun.
Multiplayer is not my thing. I'm just happy to just plod along and do my own thing as I go.
Fair enough.
What else did I play? I've started playing some Hades and Power Wash Simulator as well here and there.
Power Wash Simulator.
I really wish you could get achievements in co-op.
Yeah,
it doesn't such a better experience.
It's a shame.
Oh, that was actually a question I had for you, Cameron. Can you get achievements in co-op with As Dust Falls?
I'm unsure because
the host
me and Nikita shared a controller.
Okay.
As we did it.
I downloaded that.
I think AH101 has done it, so I assume it would be the case.
Okay, it must be. Yeah. Surely it would be, right?
It's one of those things that I really wish we had more of an indication on when games were coming out, whether the achievements were unlockable over multiple files.
It's hard to actually find that information out if you're just looking for it. Yeah.
Mike, got a job for you. I know you'll be listening to this. Game Pass Counter. I want all those games that have like multiplayer. I want to know if they have achievements or not. There you go.
I'd love to know that.
That's my contribution to the website. Cool.
So what have you been playing, Cameron?
Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer achievements are done. Revelations I've done most of today. I've got to get the level 20 achievement. I've got to do some miscellaneous DLC stuff, but it is mostly done. I'm done with all these fucking Ubisoft games. I'm just sick of Assassin's Creed. I'm really
You not over climbing towers yet?
I mean, what? It's Assassin's Creed 3. Like, what towers are there to climb? There's
Yeah,
fucking
sure.
nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Like what? A dirt pile? A tree? Yeah, cool.
Get in a tree, yeah.
Assassin's Creed 3 sucks. There's so much that's been scaled back.
It's fucking awful.
Revelations is awesome though. Revelations feels like Okay. Two things. Revelations feels like Assassin's Creed 1.
Yes.
Mostly.
I mean,
for better and worse. I do like Assassin's Creed 1 is one of my favorites. Other than the fucking no signposting for the flags. That's fucking bullshit. But I have enjoyed, like, it's Ezio. I'm enjoying it so far.
Ezio's overhyped.
Ezio's better than fucking dealing with Connor. Yeah.
Revelations, I didn't like all that much, to be honest.
And Revelations multiplayer is fairly easy. Got most of it done today. The boosting session that we were doing, it's something when you load into a map and textures aren't loading up to the point of like everything loads fine, but you're just floating in midair. And that's all you see, but everybody's like, you're standing on a platform, what are you talking about? And it's just like, no, I'm flying right now. Leave me alone. There is one of the DLC maps though that we went to the edge of the map, we looked over, half the textures hadn't loaded in. It's fucking amazing. And we're just like, okay, we're not going to worry about this round, we're just going to appreciate this for what it is.
So it's like landing in a game of PUBG. But you're still waiting for the buildings to load in.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad that the multiplayer is nearly done. I'll probably take a break from it and then come back to do the single player a little bit later on. 2 games I'm going to talk about mainly are Cult of Lamb and Monster Century. I'll quickly add into my notes to Cult of Lamb because I'm essentially finished the game. There is currently 2 unobtainable achievements technically one is a discontinued and one is an unobtainable. Because people did get the follower skin, I think, with the first run of the game when there were snails in. And then the next update broke it. So there is a follower skin that's basically for doing snails in the first dungeon. That's all I'm missing for that. The tarot cards, I am missing an RNG. You have to buy... People think it's 10 followers from the spider. And I've done so many runs. That's the only tarot I need for that, and then essentially I'm done with the game.
So is that just RNG?
Yeah, that's just RNG, but people are saying it should be 10 followers. I've done so many runs, and I don't know why it's not working for me.
Yeah.
I'm debating whether like it's broken because the game... This is the thing. I've really enjoyed my time with the game. I've spent so much... I think I put probably like 20 to 25 hours in, like over last weekend. Really enjoyed it, even though I was having massive frame rate drops, even though like I was using your Golden Fleece idea, for example, Brad, and I was getting all the bosses done first go. The only one I missed was the first boss because I took your tip after that, went back to it, and it was incredibly easy. Problem with it though is I was getting to a stage where I was so powerful that nothing can, like the screen can't keep up. Like anything over 20 followers in the base breaks the game. Yeah. So with me with 50 followers, going on a run, it was.
I've seen an image of 100 followers, and it's just like they're just like You can't do anything.
However, I
That'd
joined
be a lot of poop.
I joined the party when Brad and Steven were boosting Tomb Raider. And I gave 2 new followers the names Old Mate Clown and FTS84, and I made them eat poop. So that was good. I think we
Nice.
might have had to sacrifice Brad too.
That's
He was
okay.
dissenting. He was telling my followers
It's
that
for the greater good. It's
Yeah.
fine.
At least he's in character then.
100%.
Yeah.
Telling people not to believe in my religion. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's a really good game. I'm really proud of Massive Monster making it. I was actually I've been preparing for PAX this week. I went back and looked at the photos for PAX Souls 2019, and I think I sent you the photo. So the photo I have of Massive Monster's booth on the right hand side, the first build of the game, the vertical slash was Sacrificial Lamb, and it was just interesting seeing that change over 3 years.
I think Cult of the Lamb rolls off the tongue a bit better anyway.
I think Devolver being involved would have had a lot to do with that, but
They probably wouldn't have been allowed to use Lamb of God.
No, probably not, unfortunately.
yeah. But yeah, really good game. I'm so conflicted because to me this is behind Nobody Saves the World. Nobody Saves the World is still my game of the year, but only because of the amount of bugs. If this game needed a month or 2 more to polish.
Right.
Which is a shame because it's otherwise a really damn fun game, and I think anybody at least interested in it should just wait 2 months until all the bugs are patched and then play it.
Yeah.
Chances are they'll end up on Game Pass at some stage. So
Yeah, I mean it is Devolver, so I wouldn't be surprised. 50-50, just depends on whether the Massive Monster are willing to do it. But yeah, there's that, and Team 17 were kind enough to donate a code for Monster Century to me with their update back in June. So I finally decided to do a few streams around that.
this is the one that's kind of like Pokemon, right?
Yeah, so this...
No, but
I'm conflicted. I'm enjoying it for now, but I know that I'm going to reach a point where this overstays its welcome.
There's some bosses that are pretty tough.
Yeah.
When
But,
you get to the end.
You can use free time speed and all that. It's pretty, I like the platforming elements of it. Actually going through, having to, figure out what does what to, unlock the next part of the dungeons. Tracking's working for it, which, good for an indie. Same time, it seems like it's going to be a bit of a slog.
No, it's a good fun game. The challenges at the end are pretty okay, but only because there's good solutions that tell you specific builds to do them with.
Okay, so I might have to look up for some builds. I joined their Discord. They've got a pretty decent they got a pretty decent community around it all, and it seems like people are really getting into their builds kind of thing.
Not a lot of people have played the title update. I'm just looking at the
Yeah, I've got to get to that.
I mean, it was only 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the thing. And you know what? Got to give them props for releasing a title update when it's in Game Pass.
Yeah, that was my first thought too.
Look, I'm sorry, Kit Fox, but a day difference is kind of a bit you need to go back to Xbox and be hey, can we get an extension, that kind of thing.
This is if Raji did the enhanced edition after it left.
But at least they didn't
instead
have
of
achievements.
before. Yeah, it didn't have achievements, which is good. But
I've been weighing up in my head, the game dev side of things, whether what's the best play here? Is it for the most part, Xbox is more than likely going to be the person that approaches you if you're a developed publisher / studio.
Well, that depends, but yeah, sure.
I mean, it depends on the circumstances. If you got something that really want to show off, you'll get in contact with with that person for the region. And
but saying you don't have an existing relationship, they'll probably approach you.
Yeah, if you don't, it kind of makes me way off in my mind whether it's better to go. Take Rain on Your Parade DLC for example. They did a breakdown of how Game Pass impacted them. It's obviously you make back on the development costs and all that kind of stuff. Would it be more beneficial to release it while it's in Game Pass because people don't have to pay buy the base game, but they still
just
buy
pay
the
for the DLC.
so you get more exposure for that rather than people having to begrudgingly, like, I mean,
I'd
it's not
say
going to be
more
always
people-
the case, but they're going to have to buy the base game and the DLC.
Well, most people just aren't going to do it because it's like, well, I don't
Yeah.
have access to the game anymore, so I'm just your DLC is a waste of time now because
they're
no one's
wait-
going to play it.
Yeah.
More people are going to buy a $5 DLC for a game that they can play for free than they're going to pay $20 to play the game that they've already finished and get the DLC.
Yeah.
It
And,
comes down to,
even if you haven't finished the game, if you never played Boyfriend Dungeon and now it's left Game Pass and now they've got this new marketing saying, hey, we got this new content for it, go check it out. And they're like, oh, it's not on Game Pass anymore. Whatever, it's fine. I'll just play something else on Game Pass.
kind of think that the price needs to match what you would expect a bundle to be at that point. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe.
like, you know, release the base game and the DLC as a bundle for the discounted price that equals to the DLC. I could give that a pass.
Sure. I can see it. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Just didn't think it through, I guess.
I'm not sure in terms of what I have got for the week. 1,870. There you go.
Alright.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Leaderboard, Charlotte.
Yeah. Okay, so this week we have in third place Vulgar Latin with 5,970. In second place with Thrash Forever again, so he's back in there with 6,345. And we have in first place Mephisto for the win with 7,980.
He's making that big push.
Yeah. And then with our completions, we've got 2 weeks worth. So I've got a bit of a list, but we didn't have as many this week as we did last week. Red completed in the last 2 weeks Deadpool, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Rumbleverse. Cavalier 07 completed Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, which makes me very content. Rapture completed Multiverse and Escape Academy, as well as a whole lot of random stuff. Cobra Todd finished Spellbreak. Galaxy completed Driver San Francisco. Chapter completed the Peanuts movie.
And he said, this is why I play video games.
Yes.
Ah.
He said it
I don't
for
know
the
if he's
meme.
joking or not. That's the thing.
For the meme. And also Jumper Griffin's Story. Crucible 101 completed Rage 2, Mass Effect, and The Outer Worlds PC. Kruger completed Boyfriend Dungeon. Happy Moogles completed Final Fantasy 12, The Zodiac Age. Leo88 completed COD Modern Warfare, DR2, KCO, and Far Cry 3. Chin Doctor completed Lawnmower Simulator, 12 Minutes, and Mist, and is working on a few of the other Game Pass leaving games as well. Potato completed Rocket League, and Aftos completed Wreckfest.
Fantastic.
Oh, man,
Good job, guys.
Quick question. When did Jeremy overtake you, Matt?
About 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
I thought you said when did Germany overtake you for a
Jeremy.
second? What?
No, Jeremy J1 overtook Neomaster to be number 1.
It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And as Matt said, as long as he got to his 2 million, he didn't really mind.
All right, now on to the word challenge. Everyone's favorite Hall of Gamers competition, mainly because it's pretty much the only one.
That I made.
Yeah,
We have to.
Well, we did it, but
what you
for
say?
everyone. All right, so basically, every week every time I come up with a game, I put a GIF into our bot, and you have to guess what the game is in our channel on Discord, discord.io/Hall of Gamers. If you figure out the game, you win $20. And each week I put out a new clue, but lots of good guesses this week. The previous clues were that this game has over 30 achievements, has no numbers in the title, is based on a licensed property, and here's the big one: this is a real-time strategy game. And now everyone's thinking, what fucking game could that be? Good fucking luck. But that should narrow it down a lot. So I expect by the time this podcast is done that someone's going to get it. People are also going to be very annoyed. But that was my intention from the beginning. So I don't have a clue for next week, because if you don't get it now, I'm basically going to have to just give it away. So
they just have to keep on using the same clues. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're just going to have to keep going. Because I can't get much more specific than that without just literally writing the title out. So good luck, everybody. Real-time strategy games. There aren't that many of them, especially ones based on licensed properties. With no numbers.
Why can't I guess? Why do I have to?
Well, you don't know what it is either, so.
Yeah,
because it defeats the point if the hosts win.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, but I get to keep $20 then.
That's not how that works. All right. Let's talk about our Patreon stuff. Patreon.com/HallofGamers. You give us some money. We greatly appreciate it. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a subscription service that basically pays us and allows us to basically put on the show, to do competitions like the Word Challenge and others, to produce content, to host the podcast on on Buzzsprout and distribute it, and to pay for things like Zoom and for camera and mic and all that kind of shit, so we can actually do the show.
Zoom costs so much.
It does. It's fucking expensive, especially now when they put the 40-minute limit on all calls, not just ones that are more than 2 people. So we also do a competition, which is basically a draw, where we pick 4 games, or Cameron picks 4 games, indie games that aren't coming to Game Pass, and our patrons get to vote on which ones they want to win. So we got Time on Frog Island, Eternal Hope, The Tale of Bastoon, and Severed Steel. And it looks like Time on Frog Island is winning with 56% of the vote. So we will draw the winner for that in a couple of weeks, I think. What are we? We're on the 19th.
Yeah,
so...
a few weeks. Unobtainable got fixed too.
Oh, good. Oh, good. That's great.
Looks like a very cozy game. I'm going to buy it eventually.
Yeah, so if you're not a Patreon, we give all of our content away at whatever tier. So again, it's not about like how much money you can give us. Anything you can donate, we greatly appreciate. We also have some extra Patreon content that we've been working on. Namely, Lights, Camera, and Action has been continuing. We just put out a new episode yesterday for Scott Pilgrim.
You'll be in lesbians with it.
Yep. Cameron's most lesbians movie. Definitely recommend having a listen to that. We had a really good time talking about it. It's one of our longer episodes, so definitely check that out. It was great. We also got our other new shows, Hall of Debaters. The first free episode is still out there. You can go check it out. We have just recorded the proper episode 1, which will probably come out next week, depending on how timing goes. A little bit of editing to do there. And then we've also got Cameron's favorite, Overshadowed and Underappreciated. Yep. Which, Cameron, when are you doing the next episode for that?
That will be in 2 weeks, roughly. I'm going to try and get Michael or Adrian on because, those two know a lot about indie games.
They're on it with indies.
Yep.
And so the whole point of that show is basically to talk about indie games and actually do a bit of a discussion around the 4 games that get picked for next month's draw. Yep. So you get a bit of an insight into what those games are.
As well as anything else on our radar that looks cool that isn't coming to Game Pass or, that might have fallen under the radar. Like, the games that were picked this month, Time of Frog Island looks amazing as a cozy game. Severed Still looks fucking amazing. I need to definitely play that when I get a chance. The demo was amazing. Indie games are amazing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. But in terms of our patrons, we'll give them a quick shout out. So we've got Michael KV, we've got Chapters, we've got Natalator, Firehawk, Mad Lefty, G Spaceman, Admiral Awesome, Keo, Heavy Moogles, Kung Fu Skills, Hack and Pone, Cavalier 07, Old Mate Clown, Mark B, and McLovin Legend. Without you, we would not be able to run the show, and I wouldn't be able to talk to my lovely co-host there. I would be able to, but they would have an excuse.
This is the only time we talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're like Penn and Teller.
You know what's funny? It's like you put something interesting in the group chat and you just get ignored.
Look, I
reply.
We have a group chat. All right. And also, any of our sort of future sort of content we'll be putting out on Patreon. Again, we'll do free episodes of stuff. We are testing a few things here and there based on just trying to get some more content to give back to all the people who are nice enough to help pay for the show.
What's the next movie that you're doing?
The next movie we're going to do Doom. So it's going to be a fucking nightmare.
And then probably Doom Annihilation.
It's going to be
probably. I reckon we do a double take.
Yeah,
be a hell of a good time. I'm here all week.
It's got Carl Urban. What could go wrong? You just got to replace every sentence with "Oi cunt."
Oi cunt.
And The Rock, but
And but it's like it's not like Super Buff Rock.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's You know, I mean, like I was gonna say emaciated Rock, but he's never looked emaciated in his life. But like, you know, he doesn't look like he does now. He's definitely not Fast and Furious Rock.
Okay.
But like, but actually, I was thinking things like spoiler cast and that kind of stuff that we talk about. We're probably going to start doing more Patreon content in regards to that stuff. But we'll see how things go. We'd be keen to get some feedback. Again, any of those episodes, we'll put a few up for free just for people to listen to, so you know what you're paying for. And that's kind of going to bring us towards the end of the show. If you want to come hang out with us, discord.io/HallOfGamers is the place to come talk to our community and us. That's where we are always hanging out. As always, we do the show live on Twitch, Hall of Gamers Pod. You can come hang out in the chat. We've got some good discussion going on there. A few people come to say hi, which we appreciate. And if you want to contact us in other ways, we've got an email, hallofgamerspodcast@gmail.com or @hallofgamerspod on Twitter. Otherwise, subscribe to us on your platform of choice. Leave us a review. Word of mouth is always huge for us. Tell your friends. We greatly appreciate it. We always talk about it in boosting sessions. And make sure you write in some questions, because we have a questions channel on Discord. You can be like Isaac, and we'll read your question out next week. Now,
you can try and be like Isaac.
You can.
If you respond to questions every single week like Isaac, we're gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
Isaac's amazing. Like every single week, we have a question from Isaac.
The man is an absolute font of community knowledge.
And if we don't have a question every week from Isaac, he apologizes the next week.
He does.
Which
is 2 questions.
Super adorable.
Yeah. Anyway,
Cameron, if people want to find you, how are you going to shill?
Shadowless Edge and pretty much anything. Yeah, I'll be here all replay a podcast. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. Brad, what about you?
If you want to try and find me, don't.
Easy. Charlotte.
No, just on the Discord and Old Mate Clown. Everywhere.
At him every time. Every time you have a question for Brad, just Old Mate Clown.
Yeah. That's okay.
Yep.
Charlotte?
So I'm on Twitch on Charmandosaurus_Rex. On Twitter, I am AudreyChar. On Xbox, I'm AudreyChar. On Discord, I am the Char with many names. I don't have a consistent pattern, and I don't give a fuck. I've also done a lot of updating on my stream, and I am currently doing about 3 a week. So if you spot me going live, come in and say hi.
I've been lurking in the chat. There's been some good stuff. It's good to see you play through Fallen Order. Love that game.
It's real good.
When's the sequel to that?
Not confirmed, but it might
probably not till 2023.
February.
Yeah,
February.
May 2024.
Rumor is actually yes, early 2023 is the rumor.
Oh, nice. I was thinking later than that.
Yeah, I thought so too, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's earlier.
Yeah. Cool.
And if you want to find me, I'm Neomaster on everything: True Achievements, Xbox, and Discord. Big thank you to Brad for coming and hanging out with us. We greatly appreciate it.
Anytime.
And our fantastic co-host Charlotte and Cameron. And thank you to our Patreons and to our audience for keeping the show going and supporting us. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.
Yeah.
Adios.